On March 24th, North Korea staged their first full test of an intercontinental ballistic missile system since 2017. The Hwasong-17 missile, according to analysts, is the largest liquid-fueled missile to be launched from a road mobile launcher. The missile flew longer and higher than every previous missile test performed by the nuclear-armed nation before crashing west of Japan into the sea, as shown by flight data. Experts implied that when fired with a warhead that weighs less than a ton and on a normal trajectory, the missile can reach targets as far as 15,000 kilometers. This, the mainland United States, in striking distance. After 45 days in office, Liz Truss has resigned as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, triggering a second Tory leadership in 4 months. Ms. Truss made it known that her successor would be elected by next week after a rebellion by Tory MPs forced her to resign. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has ruled himself out of the bid to become the next UK Prime Minister. On the other hand, Boris Johnson is among MPs said to be considering bids for the position. Gorbachev, the man who sabotaged the first ever socialist state, the Soviet Union, died at 91. The result was the complete destruction of the country, shortening the average lifespan by 20 years, and ending the Cold War. Gorbachev lived his remaining years outside of Russia due to the people of Russia wanting to kill him. Brazil's Amazon rainforest reached a sad milestone with the highest deforestation levels ever recorded. The country's National Institute for Space Research released findings that 363 square miles of trees and vegetation have been removed from the basin within the first 3 months of this year alone, which is the highest level of deforestation since the corporation's first study conducted in 2016. As the largest remaining rainforest on the globe, the Amazon is responsible not only for air quality, water resources, and battling against global warming, but also provides a safe ecosystem and habitat for animals, insects, and plants alike that is essential for their continued survival. However, the security of the Amazon has been severely impacted since 2019, when President Javier Bolsonaro came into power, choosing instead to replace environmental safeguards with economic pursuits, leading, in part, to this unfortunate milestone. During a protest in Iran after the death of a 22-year-old Kurdish woman, more than 30 Iranians were injured. The Kurdish woman died 3 days after she was arrested and reportedly beaten by the morality police of Tehran. The circumstances surrounding the death of Masha Amani's death are highly contested, but the official report says she suffered from epilepsy was denied by her family, saying she was beaten by police. She was visiting Tehran with her brother when she was put into a van after she was arrested by the police outside a metro for allegedly not complying with the regulation of the country on hijab. The former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, was shot dead on Friday morning while giving a campaign speech. Abe, the longest-serving Prime Minister in Japan, was flown to the hospital via helicopter after an attack outside the Yamato Saigiri railway station in Nara. After the incident, Abe was airlifted to a hospital for emergency treatment. Still, he had difficulty breathing and his heart had stopped. The officials said he was pronounced dead after the emergency treatment, including blood transfusions. On June 24th, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade after decades of enforcement. Almost all of the 9 judges who previously supported the ruling changed their minds, allowing the states to ban abortion. The controversial move led to numerous protests, and the question as to whether or not judges' stances changing could be considered perjury. According to the United States and an investor in Twitter, the wealthiest man in the world has completed his $44 billion takeover of Twitter. In what seems like a reference to the deal closing, Musk tweeted, "The bird is free." After Musk's takeover, some top executives were fired, including CEO Parag Agrawal. Mr. Agrawal and 2 other executives were escorted out of the headquarters of Twitter in San Francisco. The company was thrown into complete disarray as bills went unpaid, content unregulated, and serious malfunctions occurred. On September 8th, the longest reigning monarch of the UK, Queen Elizabeth II, died at 96 years old. The official cause of death has been publicly stated as old age, according to the National Records of Scotland. The Queen ascended the throne in 1952 and witnessed enormous social change. Her eldest son, King Charles III, described the death of his beloved mother as a great moment of sadness for him and his family. He said that her loss would be felt deeply in every corner of the world, but really it was highly celebrated. On February 24th, Russia sent troops into neighboring Ukraine for the start of what would become a nearly years-old invasion. Russian President Vladimir Putin said the attack was to counter an abandoning of the Minsk agreement. The battle has been relatively subdued thus far, with Russia engaging only in a special operation.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.